Raise your hand if you have ever heard of the advice, follow your passion. How did it make you feel? Did it make you feel skeptical and you started wondering what it is your passion anyways? Or did you quietly talk to yourself that you didn't even think you had passion? I want to challenge you to think about it throughout this talk. But today I would like to share with you my story of passion and how I used it as a tool to start a business that became a source of employment for other young women and men like me. In 2013, Uzuri KNY, an African-inspired eco-shoe brand, was founded and established in Rwanda. Within 5 years, we had made a direct impact on over 750 people through skills and employments. We were also awarded the Best Made in Rwanda Enterprise of the Year 2017 by the Rwanda Development Board. Growing up, creating fashion was a very, very big part of my life. My dolls would always be dressed up. I remember using my grandma's traditional wear to make little dresses despite knowing I was going to be in trouble that day. And through Fawe Girls School, which was my high school, I also developed a passion for sciences. And our education system is set in a way that if you're good at sciences or certain courses, you must follow that as a career. However, in 2011, I did the opposite. As I gained admission into university, I changed my major to creative designs. I was finally so happy to do something about the love I had for fashion. With so much enthusiasm, I was literally telling everyone I knew my desire to follow fashion as a career. Here are people's responses once I told them. They would say, there's no market for such a thing. Well, I must admit that this was true, and we later on had to educate the market to turn to us. Or they would ask me, do you have capital? At that very moment, I would say no. I didn't think I had capital at all. But the words that really marked me from people were, you are a very passionate young lady. Well, sometimes when people say things like, you're a passionate person, you know they're mocking you, right? In a way, it's almost like they don't know what to tell you because you're very excited, or they probably have heard it from people who might talk too much. For me, that feeling of excitement did not die. Instead, I used the critique to do more than just filling my sketchbook, but to also learn how to bring those ideas to life, while also overcoming so many challenges that might come with it. In my second semester at university, in the first year at university, I would meet Isolde Shimwe, this smart, bold, and passionate young woman whose ambitions somehow matched mine. We became best friends quite immediately. Most of the time, we worked on class assignments together, and at the same time, we engaged in deep conversations. We shared life perspectives, and we dreamed so much of the future. It was incredible how our desires converged to be a common vision. We wanted very much to create jobs for our community, and we shared this passion for fashion. So we thought of putting together energy so we can expand our ideas. Shortly after, we started doing research on how to write a business plan. We went on and wrote all of our dreams and wishes in a 40 pages document. And we approached many people for money, including our relatives. Well, they thought we should actually chill and stay in school. They had a point there. But we were very, very persistent. I remember having 60,000 francs, approximately $100 of the time, that I had saved from my previous job. I went to the market, bought a sewing machine, put it in my room, started learning how to sew. Isolde had met this old man, Mr. Francois, who was actually repairing shoes from the streets. We asked him if he could create a shoe together from scratch. He giggled and said, no, it's not possible. He said, girls, I can repair your shoes, but there's no way I can make a shoe from scratch. We asked him to try anyways. He agreed with little faith in us, but there was a problem. We did not have money to pay him, so we told him we should pay him once we sell the shoes. You can imagine two young girls telling a man with a family to work for free. We had to take a step back and approach him differently, somehow sell him our idea of how we intend to grow from just making a shoe to building a business. Although we managed to convince him, he still had doubt in the idea. So were many people. We would hop on a bus every day after school to go work with him, and one day we went all the way and he was nowhere to be found. He did not have a cell phone too. But he mentioned where he lived, which was another 45 minutes away. So we decided to go look for him. We went to the neighborhood, knocked door to door until we found his home. When he saw us, he was so amazed by our devotion to the project. He would no longer come to town, of course, so our journey became even longer as we had to go all the way every day so we can make our very first pair of shoes. Well, we went on and made few pairs of samples, and once we showed our friend, one of our closest friends, she immediately bought one. We had made our very first sale, so we had to reinvest, buy raw materials, create a few more pairs of shoes. In that first year, we sold very few items of shoes, clothing items, and accessories that we were making ourselves. Well, at the same time, we also decided to join other organizations that teach entrepreneurship, such as Bistro Business, which is an American organization that kind of helped us to shape our business plan. Remember, we had 40 pages. We were able to reduce it to 20 pages. We joined other organizations, but the one that really revealed the direction of our journey was Business Professionals Network, a local institute. As we presented our business plan to them, their business coach was not happy about it. He was not convinced somehow. He thought we were doing a little bit too much. And quite frankly, he said it in a way that diminished our idea. It was our idea that we have been working on for the last 2 years or a year, and we were so sad and probably angry, but we listened as he challenged us to write our business plan on just one paper. After a few days of sessions, we were convinced we needed to focus our energy and knowledge into just making Made in Rwanda footwear. One of our friends noticed our efforts, and he gave us a small space with just a table so we can develop our ideas. We would meet our clients from their homes or at their jobs sometimes. Again, we reinvested every penny from the customers. Till that one day, we told Mr. Francois, the shoemaker, that we had rent space, purchased few machines, and we should pay him a salary per month. He was happy. His eyes teared as he expressed how grateful and mostly proud he was. From then, we would recruit a few other young women and men to learn our shoemaking techniques and later become employees of the company. It was not an easy road that we had taken. Although seeing all these amazing people that we had involved in our crazy journey, it was impossible to go back. We had turned into servants in a matter of 2 years. But we also noticed people started to believe in us as doors of opportunities started opening slow by slow. So we had to work very hard, days and nights, to excel in school and build a business foundation. Well, fortunately, I was able to turn what I loved into a profession. While I'm also aware that it might take someone else so much to even come across an idea. As per the question I raised at the beginning of this talk, you might know what your passions are, or you may not know, which is fine. And once you know, sometimes you may undermine them thinking or assuming they're impractical. Therefore, I came up with 3 simple steps you can take to find and perform your passion. Number 1, it's very simple. Look into things you enjoy doing. One of the things that I really wanted to do growing up was to become a scientist, to be specific, a chemist. So for you, might be 5 or 10 things. You just need to write them on a paper, make a list. Number 2, find the purpose. You must somehow know why you want to pursue each one of those things you have on the list. For example, in our company, it is at the heart of our company to create jobs. But that one purpose of Zurich and is to actually continuously put our crafts in a world where Rwanda is known as an origin of fashion items. And number 3, narrow your choices. It's very simple. Out of 5 or 10 ideas you have, just look for that one thing that makes more sense to you, that's more meaningful to you, and start educating yourself about it by reading, researching, and even writing about it. Well, in 2015, as we were graduating, Uzurike and Y had become eligible to investors. And we took at least 10 months to negotiate an investment that truly, truly changed our lives. Although it might sound simple that I was able to turn what I loved into a profession, it was not an easy way to actually make it an idea worth pursuing. What I am simply saying is that passion alone could not have made a business. I had to add hard work, taking risks, and even creating partnerships to make it stronger. And as I continued to learn through this journey, I realized that my passions are simply small interests in my everyday life that can grow tremendously if I take action or a meaningful amount of action on them. And today, the message that I really want you to take with you today is that by simply choosing to act on things that already exist around us can lead to creating tools that can make amazing, amazing businesses. Thank you.